They said she was cursed. They mocked her tears. But when God decides to rise for a woman, no one can bury her light. In a small village called Luanga, there lived a young widow named Amara, the woman everyone whispered about, but no one helped. Her husband had died mysteriously, and people said she was the reason. They called her the bringer of bad luck. But what they didn't know was that sometimes pain is the soil where God plants power. This is Amara's story, and by the time you finish it, you'll never laugh at another person's struggle again. Amara's life changed the night her husband, Namdi, didn't return from the river. The village men found his canoe broken, his nets empty, and tongues began to wag. Ever since he married that woman, misfortune has followed him, one said. And like fire on dry grass, the rumor spread. Left alone with a 3-year-old son and nothing but debts, Amara became a shadow in her own home. Even the church women avoided her bench. She sold vegetables by the roadside, but people would cross to the other side as if her pain was contagious. One evening, as rain poured and her child shivered beside her stall, Amara looked up to the dark sky and whispered, "God, if you still see me, please don't let my story end in shame." What she didn't know was that he heard her. Months passed. A new construction company came to Luanga to build a bridge. They needed local suppliers, and Amara, with nothing to lose, offered to sell food to the workers. The foreman, Mr. Kola, noticed her honesty. When others cheated, she remained faithful. Soon, he asked her to handle daily provisions. She woke at dawn, cooked for 50 men, and returned home with tired hands but a grateful heart. Then one day, Mr. Kola fell sick. Amara nursed him, refused payment, and said softly, "If I can't be kind when I'm poor, I don't deserve to be blessed when I'm rich." 2 weeks later, the company's main director visited the site. He met Amara, heard her story, and saw something different in her eyes. A month later, she was invited to the city. They wanted her to head their new community food project. That was the day everything changed. Within a year, Amara built her own catering company. The same people who once mocked her now lined up to sell vegetables to her business. Her house, once a mud roof hut, became a bright compound that children loved to visit. When she walked through the market, whispers followed again, but this time they were filled with awe. "Is that not Amara, the widow they said was cursed?" "Yes," another replied. "God must really love her." And as if heaven wanted to make a point, she built a small church on the land where people once laughed at her. Sometimes your pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. When people walk away, God writes your next chapter in silence. Don't curse the nights that make you cry. They're often the proof that dawn is near. Amara was never cursed. She was chosen. And to every person listening now, remember this: those who mock you today will one day quote your story as inspiration. If this story touched your heart, type "God never forgets" in the comments and share this with someone who needs to believe again. Because your tears are not wasted. They're watering your miracle.